I have a thing, a demonstration with that. That'll be great.
That's really creepy.
It is. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream, the AC Challenge. Here in the Collard House is over, and Erin has decided that 79 degrees is
No, 81. We're not going down into the 70s. We're not 79-degree people with air conditioning.
We're being Scottish.
You're getting ideas above your station. We're 81-degree people in this house.
Let's go to the video.
Hi there. Wilderness Todd here, and I'm out in the Uintas someplace out in the middle of nowhere. My goal is to survive for a day or two, relying only on my cunning, my fishing rod and fishing equipment, my 1907 Tacoma pickup, a 15-foot travel trailer, self-contained, with water heater. I've got a French press for my coffee, a generator, and some other essential items. Sunscreen, floss. Let's see if I can go get some dinner, because this is survival in the UN. Alright, here's a bit of luck. I set a bunch of traps earlier today, and I got a little something, a squirrel. So I'm not going to show this because it's a little bit rough, but I'm going to get this prepared and ready for this really just depends on how hungry you actually are, you know. It's just, oh yeah. A lot of people are a little queasy because they don't realize where their food actually comes from, but all comes from the same place. Just a matter. Oh boy. Okay. All right. I sharpened stick earlier, green stick, so it won't burn. And let me get this sucker on the deal here. Okay. All right, that should just about do it. It's not a pretty job, but you know, if you're Wilderness Todd, it's what you do. Okay, let's go check it out. Let's get some dinner. Come on. Wilderness Todd here with some advice. Okay, if you get lost and you end up getting rescued, no matter what you do, 1 or 2 days, they walk you out of the woods in front of the cameras, everybody at home thinks you're an idiot. All right, now, what after 2 or 3 days? Well, if there's like 50 people involved, tell them you were scared off by a puma off the trail. That's how you lost your way. Now, if it goes 3 or 4 days and there are dogs involved and people on horseback, you're really gonna have to go for something bigger than that. If there's aircraft involved, you're screwed. All right, so you totally go all out, and it's like amnesia and Bigfoot. All right, just keep that in mind, really, because they're going to call you an idiot anyway, so you know, just keep that in mind. Wilderness Todd here, and if you find yourself out in a swampy area, a low-lying area like this one, you can also often find this kind of moss. Now, all you have to do is pick this moss up and wring it out in your mouth. You've seen this before. That is incredibly refreshing. It's day 2. I didn't sleep well last night. The wilderness lived up to its name. I have one of those automatic battery-operated air mattresses that automatically adjust to your sleep comfort zone, and it kept oscillating between like 8.5 and 9, 8.5 and 9 all night long. It was barbaric is what it was. And so today we're gonna get out into the field and get some more survival tips, because this is Wildlife Todd in the great outdoors. winters are a beautiful place, and I got to tell you, on my list of places where I want to die of exposure and hunger, this is like in the top 5. This area is loaded with beaver, and as a matter of fact, here is a beaver stick. You can see the little gnaw marks on there. And here's a great dam. It's filling up this meadow down here. You can see how cool that is. I'm gonna throw my line and see if I can catch something out of here. Todd here. Okay, this is not the biggest fish in the world, but it can keep you alive, especially if you eat it before the wife and kids get here. Okay, so good tip. Wilderness Todd here. A lot of people ask me, Todd, who do you take into the wilderness with you? A couple guidelines for you. Number one, you always bring one person who runs really slow, even if they limp a little. It's okay. That's for bears. You bring someone who can cook. I can cook. You bring someone who you can cuddle with at night to stay warm. This might not be your Uncle Fred that you want to consider. So be nice to people, and remember the limping person. Yeah, invite them too. It's nice. Hey, it's Wilderness Todd here, and I just want to thank you guys for watching the video, and hopefully it helped you. Remember, it was just me in the Hayuintas for a couple days alone with my truck and trailer and junk like that. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I want you to be safe out there. I want you to watch your fires, eat your fiber. It's Wilderness Todd signing off in the Hayuintas.
The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops, with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com.
All right, so
Wow. Okay, anyone who shopped at Forever 21 knows that no matter how small you are, you're usually into an XXL by the time you finish. It's like ordering off one of the Chinese websites where apparently they're all built like this because a size 8 would be an XXXL.
And you're not Forever 21.
Forever 21 is the same kind of thing. Well, this is the most awful thing I've heard. If you've been ordering online from Forever 21 and you've ordered anything that is a plus size, you probably got an Atkins Diet candy bar with it. Yes, that's what they've been doing. Everyone's been taking to Twitter and showing the pictures of their order and the stuff that's been included in it. This girl said, my mom ordered clothes from Forever 21's plus size collection. They sent an Atkins Diet bar along with the stuff. Another girl said, I went from a size 24 to an 18, still a plus size girl, but I was excited to order jeans for the first time.
I'm glad that they make them.
But she went from 24 to 18. That's awesome. She says, when I opened the package, I got a diet bar and a shake with it. Wow. What are you trying to tell me, Forever 21? I'm fat, lose weight? Do you give these to the non-plus size women?
No, they send hamburgers with the skinny people.
Forever 21 apparently did not return any requests for comment, but they did finally announce on their website that they would be stopping the shipment of Atkins Diet bars and shakes.
Probably a smart idea. Huntsman.
If you had asked any woman in your marketing department if that was like the worst idea ever, she would have been happy to share that information with you.
Just ask people.
Who?
Tell me about John Huntsman.
Oh, this is interesting. John Huntsman. Now, former governor of the state. He didn't serve a long term because, of course, he was going into bigger politics and he went for the presidency. But he's now the U.S. ambassador to Russia, which has got to be the hardest ambassadorship on the planet. This would be like, who do I care who lives or dies? Hey, John Huntsman, would you like to? But he speaks Russian. And he also speaks fluent Mandarin. He's a genius. But he says he's interested in a run for governor again for Utah.
Really?
Which kind of stunned me.
He knows the house.
Well, this is true.
You know.
Yeah, and his wife had painted a lot of the walls.
Good closets.
Yeah.
Plenty of space.
Did some remodeling.
Right.
Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox is actually leading all the contenders right now.
Really?
Of course, he announced his candidacy, but that's pretty impressive. He was 33, and Huntsman was 32, so it's not like a huge lead. But that's a pretty impressive lead when you're going up against a former presidential candidate, a U.S. ambassador, and a former governor of Utah.
True.
And you're the lieutenant governor, and you're the plucky guy. That's pretty
True.
impressive.
No, that's a good story.
Yet determined Democratic nominee got 11%. Nobody knows who it is, so it's hard to say yes or no. The only other one that even ranked in the Republicans was former Utah GOP chairman Thomas Wright. He got 5%. So Spencer, you go.
Wow,
that's
look at
nice, right?
Time for a Nazi story.
This is the coolest thing.
Some of my favorite story. I like history. I like war history too.
But this is so beyond genius.
All right, so listen. The Nazis occupied France. When they went to France in 1940, they went in, and as they took over countries, they needed more vehicles and such. So
They took all the
Citroën.
manufacturing plants, yeah.
So Citroën, a famous French. It's their 100th anniversary, by the way. They made vehicles and stuff. Well, the Germans took it over and started making them make troop carriers, trucks that would carry Nazis to the front
other
lines.
places,
yeah.
to conquer other places.
And so the president, the CEO of the company, he was like, well, I don't want to get anybody, the workers killed. First of all,
yeah, if you deny, then they just start shooting people.
So he said, okay, everybody just slow down a little bit. Just slow down. But he kept thinking, what can he do? What can he do? Because anything that would happen with sabotage close to the plant would, they'd definitely come back and hurt them,
and yet
kill
he's
them.
got to be obsessed with the fact that he's participating in the Nazi effort, and it's got to be killing this man.
So get this. This is what they did. So he decided that he would, now if you have a dipstick, which you do on your car, and if you
I
have
don't even know where mine is in this current car.
and if you had ever checked it, you would take it and you'd pull it out, and it's a stick about on most cars, and on the end of it, so let's say this is your dipstick, on the end of it there would be a line down here, and that means full. And then there'd be some checkerboards down here, and that means need to add some oil, and if there's no oil on it, that means your engine is about to cease. So what he did, this is so great. So instead of putting the line here on the dipstick, he put it here. So the trucks were always running without enough proper oil in them. And so what would happen is they worked them really hard. They were constantly running. And so somewhere out in the field, they would all seize. The engines would all seize. And that's the way he did it, and he never got caught.
That's freaking genius. Because you're right. You wouldn't notice like a centimeter or two, but that would be enough to totally.
Just dropped it by half an inch, and no one would know. And it was just the dipsticks, like the cheapest part of the car.
That's genius.
Great anti-Nazi story.
That's amazing. Okay, this is the weirdest thing ever, and I always hate stories like this. If you remember Melanie Griffith and I can't remember the guy's name now. It was Pacific Heights, and they bought this cool little Victorian. They restored it,
yeah.
and they made it into a part. Matthew Modine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and it was. Thank you, Gil.
I'll get the dog.
And it was our Batman guy.
Yeah. You keep going.
But anyway, he was the one that moves in, and they thought, oh, he's a nice tenant. He's going to pay ahead. So he told them he would, and then he never left. And he used every legal trick to stay in there. And he destroyed the place, and he stuck cockroaches in it so that everybody else moved out. And it was like horrifying. And then there was like attempted murder. Michael Keaton. But it's like haunted me ever since, because if anyone, you have a house, that's all you picture is like, and I'm the daughter of landlords. My parents had apartment houses. So it's like the worst horror story. It's like, give me any alien story, that's fine. But that is like the thing I'd lose sleep over. Well, this is happening to this poor guy in Daybreak. And this is the squirreliness of residency laws. He had a house in Daybreak, and he recently met a guy, 24, 25, who didn't have a job, was down on his luck, and he said, look, I know you're looking, and that's great. He said, let's do this. Why don't you can move in with me and stay with me for a little bit. Just pay the utilities for a couple of months until you get your job and you get back on your feet, and then just pay rent. And then when you're kind of back on your feet, you can find your own place. So the I was going kid, but no, he's a guy. He knows what he's doing. The 24-year-old paid him $120 in utilities.
Right.
So he's looking so far so good. Guy got a job, and so the homeowner says, hey, start doing rent. So the guy, no. And this kept going for about 2 months, and he finally said, you've got to pay rent. And they said, no.
Why?
So he called the police, and the police said, we can't evict him because this is a civil matter. And he went, what are you even talking about? So then he went to an attorney, and this is when he got a phone call from the 24-year-old's attorney who said he has legal rights to stay.
Because
you
what?
created a landowner-tenant relationship with your verbal agreement.
Oh, no.
And you can't evict him unless you go through the court process. Now, if anyone has ever tried to legally evict someone, it is $5,000 to $10,000 worth of effort. You have to go to court. It's months and months, which means you
lose rent.
And this guy is living in your house while you're going through a court battle with him. So tell me,
Creepy.
And this is where he's stuck now. I mean, he contacted all the media going, I'm so screwed. And everyone, even in the media, is like, yeah, we're so sorry.
That's
is that
crazy.
the weirdest thing that could ever happen when you try to be nice?
That is so crazy. So, is there anyone more loved in this world right now than Keanu Reeves?
We're so in love with Keanu Reeves. We always have been.
What is it? It's this thing.
He's this beautiful person. He's Canadian. He's been giving the vast majority of his money to charity for years and years and years. He's literally paid for the hospital that cured his sister of cancer.
His life has been extremely bumpy, not because of him, because of things that have happened around him.
He lost his child and he lost his wife, and it was terribly, terribly sad stuff.
They have pictures of him just sitting on the subway because he's just going someplace.
Continues to be awesome.
Being Keanu Reeves.
And you may remember when that plane had to make that emergency landing, and he was the one that kept everybody calm on the bus trip and did like this narrative tour. And at the end of the bus trip said goodbye to everybody and take care of yourself. Well, he was driving with one of the script writers for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This is their new sequel.
I can't believe he's doing that.
You know he's doing it just to give Alex Winter a job.
That's really
his
sweet.
Co-star. You know he
Once
has to
again.
be, because it's not like he needs it. John Wick made what? $250 million at the box office.
That is a very nice offer then.
So anyway, I guess one of the things that a lot of people will do if you're shooting on location is a lot of people will leave signs up on their yard going, "Hi Keanu," or "Hi Alex,"
People
or "Hi
really
everybody."
do that?
Yeah.
I've
seen it here in Salt Lake City, not as much because we're more blasé now, but just, "Hi, we love you." Well, he saw one of these signs and he said, "Stop the car." And he raced over and he wrote, and he had the name of the girl because she said, "Stacy loves you." And he says, "Stacy, you're breathtaking," and then autographed it, Keanu Reeves.
That's funny.
And it's so cute. And they were trying to figure out why he did breathtaking. And apparently he had just been a guest at the Xbox press conference, and a fan screamed, "You're breathtaking!" And everybody stood up and cheered him. And he went, "You're all breathtaking! You're breathtaking!"
That's funny.
So that's why he autographed the little sign that way for her. But tell me how cute that is. Who does that?
Well, Keanu Reeves.
Yes, apparently.
So since we're speaking of celebrities, this woman I'm about to talk to, her name is Taylor. She is the Kate Moss of hand models.
Really? Kate Moss once famously boasted that she didn't even get out of bed for less than $50,000 a day in modeling fees. So
Jennifer Lawrence, this woman has been a hand model. Jennifer Lawrence, Scarlett Johansson, Heidi Klum, Georgia May, Jagger. I mean, all these people, and she is the hand. Like if they're in the movie, right? And Kate Moss goes to reach and pick something up, they use her hands to do it. There's a great shot of a model, and she's sitting there, and she's got her hands by her side, and she's her face perfect, her hair is perfect, and then Taylor, the hand model, is sitting between her legs and has her hands up like this, so it's cupping the model's face like she's doing it herself.
She's got a lot of coordination. I was a hand model for a while back in Virginia before parenthood scars up your hands, but there was one shot I did where this gorgeous model was next to this guy, and she had his cheek next to this ridiculously handsome man, and then her cheek was on his stubble jaw.
Right.
And that was my arm, and it stayed up there for, I think it was about 3 hours. I got to rest twice. But it's
nice.
You would think that it would be pretty easy, but it's actually more effort than you might imagine.
She's insured for $2.4 million.
Her hands?
Yes.
How does she do anything? Because, I mean, they don't even let you wash dishes if you're doing that kind of work.
She goes, "I'd love to garden, but I can't." She has certain way she opens jars. Certain way. I mean, she'd
have to be so careful.
You know, and it reminds me of Zoolander. when he's got his hand in the oxygen tank thing, right? Yeah, the guy from X-Files. It reminds
Because he
me
was
of
that
that.
hand model David Duchovny. Yeah.
That's right. That was funny. So anyway, yeah,
How much does she make a day?
up to $6,000.
Boy, that was a lot more than I made.
Well, I just love
That's
the
a
fact
lot more.
that she's reaching up and touching the model's face. It's just
Oh, it's insane. It's
That's
an
crazy.
insane amount of work. That's cool, though. Who knew?
not going to happen.
We
Sorry.
could do the tired parent hands.
We could do the.
That'd be
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Next week, in honor of Chocolate Villa, who is one of our favorite new people, this is a women's executive retreat. They're going to be having a big retreat up in Heber.
Okay.
And this is going to be in early September. If you're at a point in like a crossroads in your career, or you're like, I know there's more, but I don't know how to get there, or maybe you're between jobs and you want to know where you want to focus now, these are the women.
So this is development. This
Yeah,
is,
they're incredibly inspiring. And when you go there, you just feel so safe because you're with this huge group. And when you leave, you've got a plan, you've got a projection,
Oh, cool.
you've got support, you know, you have your battle plan set up. But even more importantly, they're there to help coach you. So even after you leave there,
Oh, nice.
you know, you call and you go, I'm at this point. They're like, okay, let's go through this and talk about it. It's one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen.
All right.
And I'm really excited. I'm kind of hoping they'll let me go. In any case, we're going to be telling you about them next week and how you can get involved and you can get a cool discount from us. But in honor of Chocolate Villa, we are doing the week of chocolate. You've had the week of salads. You've had the week of zucchini. Now it's going to be the week of chocolate. So what we want you to do, we want you to submit your favorite chocolate recipes. We're going to be making them all next week on the show. And if we pick one of your recipes, then you get a gorgeous cake from Nothing Bundt Cakes.
with chocolate on it.
Yes,
Of course.
chocolate cake with cream cheese frosting.
There you go.
So anyway, feel free to submit it. You can submit it on Facebook under the show today, or if you want to go to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream, you can submit it there. You can email us at toddanderonshow@gmail.com. But we're going to be giving these cakes out all week, so one of them should go to you. Give us your best chocolate recipe. And pictures, too, if you have them, please.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. You know what you could do with my hands as a model?
Yeah.
It's called Count the Scars.
Yeah.
Because I got a fair
like
amount.
you were a fisherman for a long time. And
This came from when I was a Boy Scout. Bye. Go away. Have a weekend.
go get your chocolate recipes.
Go. This one is there. Yeah, I have that one. And I almost cut my
Well,
finger
you do
off.
like a lot of handyman
I see
stuff,
that
too,
right
so you
there.
have all
I
the...
cut the end of my thumb off.
Oh, I remember that.
That
You didn't have
hurt.
any sensation?
Had to call the doctor.
Yeah, like, should I come in because my thumb's been
I
sliced?
still have the piece. Not to this day. So